So, what's up, folks? You're joining me from a beautiful night in the Saipan jungle. And today we're just getting into a little bit of what I've been posting lately because I know some of you guys would rather hear me say it than just post a few comments and hide behind keyboards, right? I'm going to show my face, I'm going to show my expressions, and I'm going to show my intention fully. So, a lot of people, especially in the spiritual world, it might even be worse in the spiritual world, right? Because if you're just what do you call it? If you're not pretending to be spiritual, you're almost more how do you say, in line with yourself. But if you pretend to be spiritual and you're not, right, which is going to be the main theme of this, is most people are caught up on concepts of spirituality, yet no spirituality exists in their lives. So really, this word spirituality has been boiled down to nothing. There's nothing left in the word spirituality because today's spirituality is pretense, is reciting concepts, is reciting beliefs, is copying other people's ideas. There's no originality anymore. And see, this is the thing with a real spiritual soul is originality, because one comes from the origin, solely, right? And that originality is the root of, one of my favorite words, alone or all one. Because in being completely alone with yourself, in almost negating yourself completely, there is, how do you say, a sense of not being divided, not having this me against the world or this world against me, that I am the world, right? I am the pain. I am the suffering. I am the happiness. I am the joy. I am all of these things, right? And because I am these things, I act. I don't just sit behind a computer. I don't just sit behind my little nice little attitude and my nice little looks, right? I act. I get dirty. I touch the ground. I go up the trees. You see? Recently I saw this Instagram thing of like the Tarzan movement. We are on the edges of what the human psyche can accomplish, correct? What we are accomplishing, the people that are actually planting fruit, the people that are actually, foraging in nature, the people that are actually utilizing the things that the Mother Earth has to give to us, right? That is the greatest superpower. That's the greatest gift. That's the greatest thing we can be doing with our lives. But guess what? Most people, they talk about all these things, but rarely, seldomly, do they actually go forth and do what is in their mouths. Their mouths are full, but their hands are empty. Their actions are empty, right? Their brain is full of all these concepts, but what's coming from these concepts? Very superficial, small, little changes, right? Instead of superficially changing a little bit here and a little bit there and analyzing, why don't we just recognize the problem and move? People rarely move. They're stuck in their concepts of utopia, right? And get this, the etymology of utopia actually comes from nowhere, right? We don't start from nowhere, from a point of complete silence, from a point of absolutely nothing. We don't start from voiding all of the ideas that we have created in our head and actually facing life already having died and being reborn. We don't void it all immediately. And if we can't void it all immediately, if we can't void the past immediately, how can we be present? How can we understand a loving message from a brother, right? How can we love someone else who's perpetuating a message of no propaganda at all, of no domination at all, and only saying that we should prosper on our own lands with our own families? Right? If this triggers you, something is wrong with you. I am just the voice of common sense. What it means to be a man and what it means to be a woman are two opposite and different things. So society trying to merge the role of a man and a woman, I don't think is correct. Not that any of our conceptualizations of what a man is and what a woman is correct. Actually, I think what's more correct is the instinct and the gut feeling that we feel with our actions and with our words. But anyhow, so again, What it really means to be spiritual is to confront the problem immediately without any other conceptualization, without any other conclusion ahead of the problem. Is to actually face the problem as I look into society from this view, into the ocean side, into the edge of the world, almost to the cliff of the world. And behind me is a valley of hope. Behind me is a valley of friends. Behind me is a fellowship, right? And in this fellowship, that's not about Jesus, that's not about Muhammad, that's not about any religion. It is the highest religion, which is love, which is care, which is the basics of life. Getting back to the basics, which is that which is the ancient technology, is the basics. So let's get more into the things that I'm saying. But again, so a lot of people in places of spiritual power are acting as Pharisees. Why? Because once you get this power, once you don't deny any form of spiritual power over another, right? If you don't deny that, then you basically get drunk. So, when I work with my friends, I recognize the fact that just because I'm fruitarian doesn't mean I'm better than them. We are both people, and at the same time, I must go forth and do my mission regardless of what they say, what they think, what they feel, because the mission is fruit trees, prosperity, and multiplication, right? It is to rejuvenate life itself, rejuvenate and reorganize and, reactualize, right? The genetics, the latent capacity that lies under our very chromosomes, right? That we are constantly abusing through our rhetoric, through our food, through our actions or our lack of actions. So really this video, the main thing that I'm coming in with here is that just talking about the good stuff in the new world and the good stuff that's going to come is not acting about it, is not planting a coconut, is not planting a fruit tree, is not doing something that will last for the generations to come, to make the meaningful relationships that will embody you to be grounded into the land, not only have these, airy-fairy ideas and concepts. So that's my rule, right, in this all, is to take this spiritual gargle and ground it and actually seed it and make something happen. And this is what you should be doing. So I challenge you guys, because I love you guys as a father, as a parent to you guys, even though I don't have kids, as a son. I challenge you guys, and I challenge your paradigm of sitting and doing nothing and just talking and being Pharisees and gatekeepers. I challenge you guys to come join me, or to join the movement itself, whether you want to call it the Tarzan movement or the Jane movement. Join this movement of regeneration and planting and securing the prosperity of not only, again, the future, but the past. Right? Let's collapse this ugly past and bring a new form of thinking, a new form of being, a new form of action that is totally different. Not opposing to the past, but totally different from the past. So I invite you to be challenged, to challenge your paradigm. And if your paradigm is being challenged, good. If you're being triggered, if you're being offended, good. You need to get that sickness out of you, right? That sickness really is just a lack of humility. So again, I'm nobody, and I come forth to you as nobody, right? And in being nobody, I'm saying, hey, remember, we're both gods. We're not anyone special compared to each other. We're both people. We're both, we're humble. We're empaths. We are, the same light, the same source. However, stop acting like everything's against you and act. Move in such a way where you will make waves, make changes just by the state of being itself, just by not being dominated by any idea, any book, any concept, any program. Be free from all the programs. That's the only way to live life completely and fully. Man, I need to start going into the other comments and not just go on these things. But I'm sorry, guys. I haven't been making these kinds of videos as much. The more philosophical aspect of things. But it's not because I don't want to. It's because again, I'm very tired of working and going up coconut trees and cutting banana and planting this and planting that and finding this and finding that. Oftentimes I need the rest of my day to rest. But today I found the energy to make this video, so I will get it across. So again, threatened is a person who recites concepts in the presence of real action. So if at any time, like your friends or your family gets triggered by you being a regenerated being, you starting to embody those things that are reciprocating, the actions that will come around to you many times, manyfold, right? That the rewards and the reaping, the sowing. A lot of people will find that as threatening if you start something special, because it's like, hey, I want to be special too. Who says he's just special, right? So who, he doesn't get to be special. So this is society's immediate response, right? Because it's always about competition. It's always about looking better than the other. But if we just let go of competition altogether, right? What would be left over? Action. We wouldn't have to be judging other people and what they're doing. We would be doing ourselves. Not that we can't comment on another person's process and all this kind of stuff. However, most people are stuck on commenting, on commentating. Let's play the game that is called life. Be a good be a good sport. Have some sportsmanship. And the only sport that really matters is that which is played in the Garden of Eden. Is figuring out how to live life in complete peace without any harm to ourselves, to others, and nature. And nature, baby. You know this nature, guys? Do you know this? So you can point at the target, but only they can turn to look. So I can say all these things, folks, but if you don't think for yourself, you don't question for yourself, if you don't question every single doctrine that's been laid in front of you, whether it's a good psyop or a bad psyop, everything, throw it out and start anew. That's the only way you can act as a moral being that's not tied down to a concept of what morality is. The only way to actually be moral is to erase all concepts of morality altogether and figure it out in that current state, in that now time. Now, that is morality, is to be in now time. If you are not in now time, you are immoral, right? So stay here with me now. You don't need to judge what I said before. You don't need to think about what you're going to judge me on what I'm going to say later. Just be and listen now. And it won't matter what I say because you can listen. That is presence. So it doesn't matter, what you're listening to. You can either tell the truth or falseness within what you're listening, right? This is something I remember Krishnamurti saying. But again, I am living it. I'm listening. I'm being. I'm questioning. And so again, that's why I challenge out of love and invite you out of love to do the same. That, again, don't rely on anybody, but at the same time, make friends, right? But what I'm saying is, psychologically speaking, don't lean on anybody. You are your own God. You are your own person. You don't need to outsource who you are to somebody else. Very simple, folks. So again, I can tell you these things, but you must embody it. You must walk forward. I cannot walk for you. I cannot look for you. So look and see for yourself. So, no one can open your eyes for you unless you're blind, physically speaking. Then someone can give you some herbs and some fruit, and that could open your eyes, after the lymphatic stagnation is removed, right? However, psychologically speaking, no one can be sane for you. You must confront that which is insane, which is the society that we live in, which is the non-reciprocating way of life that's continually degenerating into worsening water, worsening resources, worsening air, worsening the state of the soil. Everything is being ruined. So, being human means making mistakes. Being a god means to fix them. So, it's very obvious, right? If you want to co-create, that means not just accepting the program that you were given as a child, with your education, with your upbringing, right? To be able to break through that is the ability of creation. Because you're creating, but at the same time, it's not you, right? You're allowing life to create for you a sequence of events that is not repetitive and violent. There's that. Um, yeah, I said our society, malnourishment, cash, and trash. It's always about cash and trash, right? Throwing away trash and getting more cash and buying more trash and throwing away more trash. And nature has no trash because nature is organic. So who are we kidding here? Everything organic has no waste because it is all used. It is all realized. Recycled. So cash and trash living cannot follow nature because nature doesn't leave a trace. Nature, when it says time is up, time is up. There is no lagging. There is no rigidity. Now is now. And again, you are very unintegrated and you're not acting from integrity when you are not in the now, when you're not completely present with me at this moment, making a judgment somewhere else. So, being what you are, I'll end with that. Being what you are does not require any validation. So, really, there's no point in me having a channel. But at the same time, there's no point in me not having a channel. Why? Because I don't need your validation. I don't need anyone to tell me what I'm doing is good. However, I welcome the support. I welcome the donations, right? I welcome people bringing in that positive energy and helping me. However, I don't need it. Why? Because I do not have a choice. In having that choice and in daily living, being divided, I realize division does not make sense, right? Which means choice is useless, right? The choice between, I'm speaking slightly metaphorically here, but also literally, right? The choice between Babylon and the Garden of Eden does not exist. Yet we pretend, we succumb to the pretense that living in Babylon makes sense, that living in Babylon can be practical. However, that is not true. So, if you do not if you do not need validation from anybody, that means you will be living 100% in a natural state, in a natural form, in an organic fashion, meaning you will have no pretense and no one will be able to sense a stink of spiritual fronting from you. But if you have a stink of spiritual fronting, it'll show in your actions, it'll show in your fruit. So let's see. Let's see what the trees produce, right? Let's see the quality of the fruit. Let's see the actions. Let's see, what is reaped from what is sown. And then we will see who is spiritual and who is not.